Hey, Savannah and Mia. I know. Isn't that funny? I just went to court and it lasted. Hold on a second. I'm right over here, don't worry. I know, I always have to put water in my coffee. Oh, I picked. Well, I went down to court and I had 4 seals with me. I know you won't know what that means. I didn't write it down in my book, so um, yeah, that court was difficult. I'd expected to be I'd expected it to be a little bit more understanding. Of course, they didn't want me to see you ever again. Your mom wants to change your name. I told the court that if Tara Beth Kane's, her mom and dad, Janice and Henry Kizinkevich, and whatever Janice's last name was, I have it written down. What was it? Ferris or Ferris? Something like that. I told the judge, he kept asking me, and I kept saying, well, Judge, you can rule in the court of law, but in the court of the heart, Stephen Philip Lindquist is the only thing that can judge that. I told Tara and the entire court that if Tara Beth Kanes needs the bodies of Savea Beth Lindquist and Mia Frances Lindquist in order to heal herself, then I was willing to do that. The judge said, well, is that your judgment? And I refused to answer. I said, there is no evidence or any witnesses that I would call to defend Stephen Philip Lindquist. I gave it all to the other people. I gave it to Maria Myers and to Tara. I said that I would have sat down with them in person myself to go over stuff that they wanted to read to set the record straight. Not straight, just to set the record clear. And they refused that. The judge, I dismissed the case, and then the judge, I was trying to get it. They want me to pay for her lawyer's stuff, and I'm not going to do that. They can try for an eternity to try to make Stephen do that, and he won't. If she would have listened at day one, there would have been no trial. The judge didn't believe that it was mistrial when I had false representation in the beginning. He didn't think that was reason for mistrial. Even though all the communication I had was with the court ex parte, he denied that too. He said I wasn't talking directly to Judge Edward T. Wall. I said, on the contrary, I talk to myself all the time, and you get that right in time. So I kept bringing up, and I said, I don't know, maybe 10, 20 times, more like 12, 14, that the real issue is the court is going to have to decide how bad they want to hurt Savea Beth Lindquist and Mia Frances Lindquist. How is the court going to do that? Hurt 2 small children. I told that judge, I said, you have to go home and think about how serious you want to hurt those 2 girls. I told them, too, that what would happen, how they would grow up. And I said, that's going to be on Miss Meyer, Tara's, Janice and Henry's thing. And Miss Meyer mentioned something about they wanted to adopt those 2 things. And that is not going to happen. I didn't agree to anything. They will not separate those 2 children from Stephen Philip Lindquist. They're in his heart. In my heart. You know, physical bodies are one thing. Spirit is more important for me. this trial, I told that judge, and he agreed. You know, he kept trying to rope me into making some decision, and I said, I'll just leave it up to you and your judgment. And he goes, well, that's not a judgment. What is your, you know? And I just kept bringing it around, you know. I stand accused of being Stephen Philip Lindquist. I explained to the judge that I did not need any witnesses to bear children with Tara Beth Caines. I did not need a background check. I didn't need permission from the court to have children. You know, and now some law, some judge thinks that he can rule in some otherworldly affairs, which is not the case. You know, and so now I have another trial, and I kept saying, you just keep trying to rope me into this, just stick in it when I don't have to. I could be beyond it. Well, I am beyond it. And they keep trying to rope me in. I looked at Tara, and I saw nothing. Just a shell. And I don't know where she is. I don't know what happened to the person I used to know. Maybe she's somewhere getting her own type of healing. Janice and Henry were there. The judge said Sabea and Mia were in the other room. He pointed at the room next door and said, they're in the other room. Stephen has done all the healing he can. I pulled those 4 cards. I tried to heal what I could in there. I was going to give, me and Sabea, I was going to give this to Kelly, the guardian, to give to you. Both of you. I know there's 2 of you up here, Sabea, don't. And your hair, you know, it wasn't usually in a ponytail, except when you were little, we had to put that one there, because your hair stuck straight up. It was so cute either way. And I won't read it. I wanted to give it to you so it doesn't. It wasn't my trial in the first place. I stand accused of being myself, and you and me and we and us and them, and to be honest, I was a little bit nervous at first. They want to change your name, Sabea and Mia. I said, well, if they want to change it to Caines Lindquist, if that's what she needs. See, isn't that funny? Why would Stephen do that? Why would he give up those things if it meant what he would lose? I don't know. I'm not doing it for her. I'm not going to take the fall for her, for any of her reincarnations, for any of her damaged spirit. I did it for Stephen. you know. And I did it for Savea and Mia. I told Sean that I would probably still end up saving Tara. You know. And Savea and Mia, sometimes I think that I sometimes think that Stephanie and Tara are in you too. And they need to heal some of their own childhood in you. That's why I always thought it was weird that you asked so many questions about things you should have known. Oh. Oh. So yeah, I got this. This was the Guardian. She asked me, do you want to go in the room and talk? And I was like, we don't have to be cordial. I'd asked for a male guardian in the first place. You know? Of course, the court said, well, they're not obligated to give you a male guardian. And I was like, oh, yeah? That's not what my sister Chris said. She said that they were obligated to let me know all of Kelly's background and all of her history, what makes her be an appropriate guardian, and now she's a guardian until December. Even though I dismissed the case. Isn't that weird? Whatever, so weird. Oh, and I kept correcting the court. They said, this was in the matter of Stephen Lindquist, in the custody of Stephen Lindquist and Tara Beth Caines. And I said, no, you keep missing the point. I kept drawing them back to Savea Beth Lindquist and Mia Frances Lindquist. This is about them. And they said, well, they need to hear objective things. And I said, children don't think about things objectively. It's subjective to them. And I explained to the court that I was trying to talk to them in a manner that they could understand. And I kept getting no, 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 no. Who does that? Who does that? Some say that it was meant to hurt Stephen. I keep switching it around and giving it back, all the anger, so it's not mine anymore. You know, banishing all those souls that wish Stephen harm was probably pretty helpful. And Tara is just an empty shell. I have a feeling I know who's in her, though. I know who I carry around in myself. I know you guys want to know. They're not happy. Some people say that they're using Stephen for some other purpose. I keep changing that. It's like they can't win. It's like, just stop. And I'm like, it's not done yet. So now I have to go back in October. You know? And I can give up hollow bodies, hollow casts, as it were. It was never my trial. I had already proved what kind of soul I had and have. And I'm still trying to help them. For whatever reason. Goodbye. Not goodbye. I'll talk more later.